Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about the Psychic Awakening, I'm going to be talking about potential Primarchs, I'm going to be talking about the narrative side. There's so many things to talk about. Mostly it's going to be Primarchs because of course it's me, it's Varrak, I love Primarchs. So let's jump in and let's have a little talk. So by now, I think we're all aware that the Psychic Awakening is going to be this big old event which is galaxy-wide. Every faction is going to be throwing something in there. I hope every faction certainly gets new models, new HQs, even new psychic abilities. It would be very, very strange if this thing was called the Psychic Awakening and there wasn't any new psychic stuff. So hopefully GW will reach everyone when it comes to new models, new rules, and new psychic stuff. Now, when it comes to getting new stuff, I think the biggest thing about it is, of course, new models. As we've seen now, the Eldar are getting all their stuff with the Dark Eldar, the Banshee stuff. GW leaked itself the whole Janzar versus Drazar picture, and that since then they've confirmed that those models will be coming out. This Monday is going to be showing one of two of the duelists. We don't know if it's going to be Janzar first or it's going to be Drazar. I'm probably going to say Janzar since it's it's bouncing from like Dark Eldar to like Banshee and then Banshee back to Dark Eldar. So I'm going to go with that one. But you can see they are pushing forward and they are starting to bring out more bigger characters who are in the foundations of the lore. And of course, this first stage is called Phoenix Rising, so it kind of blends in with the Eldar itself, with Phoenix Lords and stuff, and they are rising, maybe, I don't know, out of the ashes, and maybe to renew or be reborn into something else with this whole Psychic Awakening. I know a lot of people have pointed out saying, hey, Fulgrim, the Phoenician, the Phoenix, maybe it's linked together some kind of way. Alright, what do you think about that? Firstly, I think that would be a great way to mention Fulgrim. I'm not going to deny it, but I think it would be kind of crappy of GW to build all this like Xenos hype up, all this Elder hype up, just to end it with a Primarch coming back for the I won't say for the technically he can come back for the Imperium, or he can come back for Chaos if you've read Fabius Bio Clone Lord. I won't go too much into it, but yeah, there's basically two routes. So you can go with Fulgrim at this moment in time, but I don't see that at all happening at this stage anyway. Hopefully in the future Slaaneshi does get some love. I know we've had rumours before about the whole Fulgrim model and Slaanesh getting something similar to what Death Guard had and what Zinch got with Magnus, their upgrades and stuff like that. What I personally think is going to be happening from now, since the Space Marine Codex has been the standard set, it's more or less like 8.5. That's the way I see it, and I think other codexes or codexes, however you want to bloody pronounce it, is going to take that standard format. So what I mean by that is, like, for example, if we do orcs, I see orc clans getting supplements just like the chapter supplements that we've got for the Space Marines. I see Chaos getting supplements as well, like World Eater supplement, Emperor's Children supplement, Death Guard supplement, Zinch supplement. All the characteristics that they've done with the Space Marine Codex can easily be put into other army factions with ease, because I think that's what most people want as well. They want the factions to be explored in these different ways, and I think with the release of the Space Marine supplements, it's been a pretty big success for them. So hopefully they go forward in this kind of direction and everyone receives that same type of love. Now on to the juicy stuff, which I'm sure everyone's tuned in for, is my obsession over Primarchs returning into the Awakening, into the storyline. First things first, I definitely see it happen. I really, really do. Deep down, 100% of me inside says this is the perfect time for something like this to happen. Whether it is a traitor Primarch, whether it is a loyalist Primarch, this whole narrative, the way it's been delivered to us, the way it's being sold to us at the moment, is that this is event-changing stuff. And for it to be truly event-changing, I think having something big like that coming out of this is definitely a head turner. It's definitely a head spinner where people really start to say, oh wow, okay, this guy's back, or this guy is he's not dead. We all thought he was dead. Maybe this is the big event things, and even in the GW articles themselves, they state you won't even believe that some of the models that we're going to be showing off. So I really do think that it's actually hinting towards the return of a Primarch during this whole awakening. Now, to add fuel to the fire, my source, this is the same source that provided me with the Imperial Fist information, which I've put on my channel. That was like the first out there and stuff. I know this guy is 100% legit when he's providing information, because as you can see from my videos, and he actually sent me the pictures of the Imperial Fist Targaradon even before GW put him out. I actually have the pictures still of him from the actual codex, different angles and stuff like that. But again, he hasn't given the green light to post them, so I don't want to betray his trust on that. But he actually stated that through his information that he's got is that there is a Primarch that's got to be returning. Now, he hasn't mentioned which Primarch is returning. Hopefully, within the coming weeks, within the coming days, if I'm really truly lucky, we'll have a little bit more information in regards to that. But at this time, the only thing I can say is that let's just keep it at speculation. At this moment in time, I know he's been amazing with his information, but anything can change at GW. This is why I'm not like plastering this as that Primarch returning. It's official. Everyone hold on to your butts. It's just we're just talking at this moment in time. So please, please, please don't be posted this, or like these certain gaming websites which will have Primarch confirmed to return and stuff like that. No, it's not. We're just speculating at this time. Now, onto the theory side of things. When people actually want to talk Primarchs, we all have our special Primarch deep down inside. Of course, mine is Rogel Dawn. Dawn definitely lives. I don't care what anyone says. Dawn lives. And until you show me his body, until you show me his bones, not his fist, that doesn't count. Until you show me his entire skeleton, I will remain in the stance that Rogel Dawn lives, and he will return one day to lead the Imperial Fist, or the Sons of Dawn, Last War Protocol. But do I see him returning during the Psychic Awakening? Deep down in my heart, yes, but my mind is telling me no, as the song says. I think the more logical choice would be some of the big contenders from some of the big chapters. And when I say big chapters, the chapters that really have, I know we all have our own codexes at the moment, but the ones like the Dark Angels or the Space Wolves, there's a bit of talk on the interwebs at the moment. Again, this is not coming from my source or anything like that, that apparently Leman Russ is one of the potential Primarchs to come back during the Psychic Awakening, alongside Angron. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of World Eater fans who've been wanting this for a long, long time. There's been so many rumours around Angron and around Leman Russ that there's just something in the back of my mind thinking, surely that all this talk has to lead to somewhere. With Leman Russ coming back, you have so much potential of like the old wolf, the Odin-esque type of character. Think like Thor, like in the Thor films where Thor is like young and he's like reckless and he's going around punching all the ice giants and everything, and then he gets his eye ripped out and he's basically like maturing into his father's status and stuff like that. I would love to see that kind of evolution from Russ. Like Russ was kind of reckless back in the Great Crusade, Horus Heresy days, charging into the head of battle. I would love to see him a more wiser, more matured Leman Russ. I think that would be a great thing for his character. And when it comes to the Angron stuff as well, for those of you who don't know, Angron is my favourite traitor Primarch. The World Eaters are my favourite traitors. I just love everything about them. I feel sorry for Angron and his story. He was taken away from his brothers and sisters in the final battle. The Emperor never helped him. I thought that was a bit of a D move from the Big E himself. So yeah, I do have a connection to the World Eaters, Blood for the Blood God. I think Khorne is one of the most honourable Chaos Gods out there. Please don't hunt me down, Inquisition. But yeah, I would love to see something like that, because one, of course, it's a demonic Primarch coming back, and it's Angron. Angron, massive, bloodthirster, axes, skulls for the Skull Throne, amazing stuff. But of course, if Angron was to come back, that means there's going to be love for the World Eaters as well. That means, Berserker upgrade kits maybe, like all the fancy the shoulder pads, like we've seen for the Space Marines at the moment. that kind of love getting given to Chaos when it comes to upgrade kits. I would love something like that for the World Eaters. And of course, you have the story potential as well. Now, during the great the great psychic awakening, let's say, of course, those images that got put on the GW website, you know, for the actual map, and we went in and we uncovered in the source code of the internet, some of them are featuring around Armageddon. And now a lot of people are flocking to this idea, myself included, that Armageddon will be a potential planet during this psychic awakening, because there's so much stuff that can happen on that planet. I say that because Armageddon itself had another name before it was called Armageddon, and that was Ullanor. Now, for those of you, again, who don't know about this, Ullanor was basically the capital of the Orc War back in the Great Crusade. This is where the Imperium, Horus, the Emperor, crushed the Orc incursion on the Galaxy and basically ruined their empire. Now, of course, I don't think the Orcs have forgotten about this. I actually think the Orcs have kind of like an Orcish connection to the planet itself. That's why Gaz Skull keeps launching these huge wars against the planet to try and retake it, because it is basically their homeworld. It is their terror. That's how they view that planet. And I think, again, in the Psychic Awakening, you got to have this mixture of Imperium, Chaos, and Orcs all fighting over Armageddon. And even more so on Armageddon. Armageddon holds the potential of returning Primarchs for a couple of reasons. Vulcan went missing on Armageddon. That is Vulcan's last known location, is on Armageddon. Again, read the Beast Arise series if you want more information on that. Great series. Don't believe it, the Imperial Fist survived. And of course, Angron was banished on Armageddon in the first war. I think it was the first. It's the first War of Armageddon with the Grey Knights where Angron was banished. Now, I personally believe, since Angron was banished on the planet of Armageddon / Ullanor, whatever you want to bloody call it, that he can only be reintroduced into the Materium via being summoned back on the planet where he was banished, which is, of course, Armageddon. And we have evidence that really backs this theory up, because if you read the Gathering Storm, there's a passage which mentions the summoning of Angron onto Armageddon. When the Great Rift happened, there was kind of like a little chaos cult which tried to bring him back into the Materium. But luckily enough for us, the Salamanders intervened and they stopped that summoning process. Now, the thing which really backs me up for this is, if Chaos wanted to summon a Primarch back, let's say like Angron and stuff like this, within regard to Armageddon, why go back to a planet which is heavily defended by the Imperium? Why not just go to like a back world which has, you know, some population to slaughter, you know, civilians to, you know, for the blood and stuff like that? Why did it have to be Armageddon? Again, I think because he was banished on that planet, that is the only place he can come back. So my fingers are crossed that we will eventually reach Armageddon. I'm sure there's more stuff we can feature there around the Templars, of course, a Steel Legion maybe for new Imperial Guard, Gaz Skull, Fracker, brand new model. There's really so much to talk about with Armageddon and regards of new stuff. Maybe I'll make a separate video regarding that. I think I've done some in the past as well, but it's always nice to refresh and keep the hype going. But I really hope that GW identify the potential, not just for models, but with lore as well when it comes to Armageddon, and we definitely revisit that planet sometime in the future. I really do think that the Psychic Awakening is an amazing thing for us 40k fans, because not only with the narrative side of things, which they've got to explore, of course, the model side of things, and we've already really start to see it with the Eldar stuff. As I mentioned at the start of the video, these new Janzir models, this Drazir model, the Banshees, the Ikibai, you know, all this kind of stuff. This is what people have wanted for so long. Hopefully that carries over to Necron players, to Tau players, to Orc players. Hopefully all you Xenos guys will be getting the love that your armies deserve. That's probably something you won't hear me saying a lot on this channel. But actually, not only the Xenos players. I hope there's new stuff for Custodians. Sisters of Silence, they're one of my best factions. They've received nothing. I think the Sisters of Battle have really took the limelight from them. We know Sisters of Battle are getting a brand new range refresh in November, and I'm sure that is going to be working its way into the Psychic Awakening. Actually, I know it's going to be working its way into the Psychic Awakening because we uncovered Sisters of Battle icons actually in the Psychic Awakening source code as well. So they're definitely going to be featuring around November when it comes to it. So yes, hopefully every faction gets it. Every faction gets the stories. Again, I really hope that the Primarchs or a Primarch comes back, and it's just like a game changer. I cannot wait. Traitor or loyalist? Of course, I want a loyalist to come back because I'm loyal. But if it is a traitor, then I'll still be happy. Even if it's Primarch, I will kind of be happy. I won't be fully happy, but I'll be kind of happy. I'll be happy because I can officially beat Primarch on the tabletop, but I'll be kind of upset since, you know, we are kind of outnumbered when it comes to Loyalist and Traitor Primarchs at this moment in time. Right, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching this video. Of course, I'd love to get all your feedback, your thoughts and stuff like that. Do you have any theories? How would you like the direction of the Psychic Awakening to go? What models would you like to see for your armies come back during the Psychic Awakening? Leave it all in the comment section below, and we can have a nice little chat down there. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you all very, very soon. See you now, and bye-bye.